Children, teens, and youth have always been an important part of who we are. For many, their children are the reason they sought out our church in the woods.
The religious education program has changed a lot over the years. I understand that it started in very small. It met in the garage behind the building where the congregation was meeting on Sunday mornings. Now we have about 170 children and youth involved, and we are pretty much running out of space. That's a constant issue. Now it's called the Religious Exploration Program, and it offers some variety for children and youth. The largest program is a well-established, curriculum-based, traditional program where children and youth are grouped by ages and by grades. Then a few years ago, in response to requests by some of our parents, we created a new program which is quite different. It's called Wonder Hour, and it has a more worshipful tone. And the emphasis is on creating community rather than on content. Another innovation in recent years is an outdoor program called Web of the Woods, which is held for a few weeks in the spring, and we take full advantage of these wonderful woods we have around the church. Another benefit of this is that it involves the Green Sanctuary, and a lot of adults from the church are involved. And it's an opportunity to teach experientially about our 7 principles and the UU values about the environment. It has been a great bridge between the congregation and the Religious Exploration Program.
I remember when we used to have RE in the garage back when I was little. The RE program was something that was run by a volunteer. It wasn't something that people put a whole lot of time in. When I look at the program that my daughter goes to now, it's all the difference in the world. She will go from the nursery all the way through YRUU.
We are Unitarian Universalists. We are the Church of the Open Minds. We are the Church of the Loving Hearts.
We went to a mosque, a Baptist. We visited a synagogue. We went to a medicine wheel. We went to a Quaker Friends.
Well, I've met people from all over thanks to the District Youth Steering Committee and their conferences. This year's theme is OwlCon, Our Whole Lives, which to help better educate teens about sexuality. I think YRU really helped me make friends with people who were a little older and a little younger than me, who I wouldn't normally associate with because they were older or younger than me. I'm a full member. I got my name tag and everything, and I do vote.
One of the pillars of this church community is its members' dedication to social justice. We occupy a unique position in a city that is a state capital and a county seat, and less than 30 miles from Washington, D.C., a world capital. Our members are passionate and they put words into action.
The work of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis' anti-racism transformation team focuses on understanding differing perspectives we bring as people of color and white people.
A lot of work our members and friends do in the community speaks for itself.
And what was envisioned to be an ongoing year-long study process turned into let's do something within 4 months, and you have our involvement in this process now.
Homework Haven is a place in a housing development where kids can come after school, and adults go there, volunteer adults go there to help them with their homework and be friends with them, and sometimes go out to the playground and things of that nature.
Susie Oates, an RN from our church, came to us and said, the shelter will not take this project and we need to find some place for people coming out of the hospital who are dying of AIDS. Can you help? And boy, we said yes, and jumped in, and 2 months later got funding and a house and the congregation voted for it, and we've helped 9 people die at home of AIDS, and since then have become part of the whole Haven program, which is where it came from to begin with.
Our prison ministry began after we had 2 sessions of mindfulness-based stress reduction for persons living with HIV and AIDS. And it was after one of the sessions, one of the members of the group was talking about anger. He said he had been incarcerated till he was 50 years old, and thought he had a lot of anger, and he thought he was stuck with it for the rest of his life. But he did what we had taught him, and he said he got over the anger. And so put together incarceration, anger, and so forth. Thought, what better population needs this teaching than prisoners?
The circles formed within our community intersect in myriad ways with other circles within and outside our congregation. Over the years, our music programs have touched thousands of lives with concerts that have stirred the soul and prodded the conscience.
You are one of my favorite composers, a fine American composer.
Well, mostly I enjoy just bringing music to everybody in our church congregation. And I think that's very important, that we have a variety of music.
When we first started, the board called me in before the carpet and said, well, what is this coffee house supposed to be? Is it outreach? Is it a fundraiser? What is your objective, and what are you trying to do? And I looked them right in the eye and said, it's a fundraiser. And they said, okay. But the truth is that it does bring people to, they find our door.
Right.
And then they think, I wonder, this is so much fun, maybe I'll give it a try. Of all the groups to which I belong, choir's the one about which I feel strong. We learn to sing leader, we get to chant. Our musical leaders, BJ and Joe Branch. When I joined the choir, I didn't know, but I learned so much from Miss Betsy Joe. Sometimes we sing Mozart, sometimes we sing gospel, Bartok and Bach, and Dvorak's almost impossible. Now Copeland and Gershwin, Barber and Ives, American composers have enriched our lives. But to this pantheon I would insist, we must add Anja Brandt to the list.
This isn't the end of our story, it's really just the beginning of our relationship with Unitarian Universalism and to the city of Annapolis.